So this paddle ended up being quite a bit different than I expected. I thought there might be more people out on the lake than usual, and it turned out there kind of was and kind of wasn't. On the way out, it was pretty much just me and Teal. But then, like almost exactly at the halfway point, we started seeing some peoples, and it turned out to be really neat because there was kind of the half of the just chill with Till, and then half back where kind of got to visit with some peeps. So up along here is the first sign of the holiday traffic. There's a little camp set up, which was kind of surprising because it's not really much of a beach, but whatever's will be work for somebody. It is kind of nice, kind of tucked in away from things. This is kind of right where the lake becomes more like a river and the current is starting up. And then I kept this footage here too because it happened that just as I was passing by, watch the water here, this fisherman gets one on the line.
Fish on!
So it's pretty good size from what I could judge. I don't know, I'd say maybe around 18 inches. I don't know. I can't really tell these things, but they look bigger than I've ever caught, that's for sure. He was a pretty nice guy, said hello and all of that. So this is, I kind of went straight, well not straight, but see this point right here, this is the furthest I've ever gone up the river here. So today marks the first day where I'm going to go ahead and go past, and I wasn't sure how far. I think it was around a mile, but I wasn't sure, and I wasn't sure of the terrain. And my goal was Castle Rock, and so I kind of went a little slow and was kind of looking out for places to stop and take a break. And I also just wasn't quite sure of the terrain and where to go. And in fact, I'll show in a little bit. It's kind of hard, like I learned on the way up, that I gotta look at land, not at reeds, because it's pretty easy to get disoriented between where it looks like you might be able to get through and then you can't because the reeds are there or whatever. So right in here is where we kind of get into a little stuck. Wasn't sure if there was a way out right here. So we just paddled a little bit and thought, oops, so we headed back out. So not far, only maybe 30 yards or whatever. That's kind of the idea, is you're never quite sure where you can get through and where you can't.
Go back around this. Dragonflies.
And on the longer ride, for sure, I can just so much tell the difference in the improvements in this Primo Kayak, because so much of my energy is just going forward. And like if I were to put my old kayak and this kayak side by side, as far as speed, it's not really that much faster, but you add in the miles, then wow, it's amazing how it adds up, because this distance I think probably would have killed me before, and it really didn't this time. I mean, I can feel it, but I think I could go further.
About the same. Looks like it's pretty well traveled. Looks like it's a steep drop off too.
That's you? Here, I'll feed you as soon as you get in the dirt. You didn't get your upper curl. So we took our little break, and Teal got some beef jerky, and then I also took my phone out to look on maps to sort of get an idea of exactly where it was and how much further to go. So I sort of like checked out like each bay and figured out how close I was to Castle Rock, because I wasn't sure about getting into Castle Rock either, because there's a lot of reeds there and there's just this tiny little path through. So kind of did a little intel on our break. So here we're coming up on Castle Rock, and I was trying to keep things in perspective, right? Look back on the land and not just on the reeds. So looking back, you can see there that point. That's Castle Rock, and and then there's like all those reeds in front. So just looking at the reeds, it could have been disoriented, but looking back, then you can see, okay, well, there's my landmark. So then I turned in and went closer to the reeds so that I could try to find that little pathway through. So kind of a tricky entrance, I think. I haven't been to Castle Rock in a long time, over 5 years, I think, and I was only there maybe once or twice. We did one time take the kayaks from there, but we didn't really go very far, and there's sort of a long sandy path, and I don't think my trailer would do very good. That's why I opted to just go from Mesquite up to Castle Rock. It's kind of obviously it's an easier route to go from Castle Rock to Mesquite, because then you're with the current. But I got my Primo now. I can handle it, kinda, more or less. Sore shoulders still, but whatevers. It's kind of neat going through this little path, though. I was thinking it's kind of like a little go-kart path or route. So going into Castle Rock Bay, I sort of took a turn here to look back on the other side of the reeds to see if there was any other ways in or out. It's really pretty, though, the formations of the stone and all of that up through the water, and it's so calm. I was really surprised to find it empty when I first came in. So that's the one way in. You want to go deep a little bit? So we ended up taking a little break here, took Teal for a little bit of a walk, not very far at all. And then we took a little swim to make sure we were cooled off and ready for the trip back because the sun would be up. And then this is heading back out of Castle Rock Bay. And we're going to be coming up to where you go in. And I wasn't sure I was going to be able to find it again, too. On the way out, I was like looking at all the landmarks. Even as you come up, it's hard to see where that path is. I was just trying to remember that there was a place where the reeds had sort of been like patted down, and then it's also like green on one side and dead looking on the other. So we ended up finding it. And on the way out, because I kind of knew it from having come in, I tried to take it a little bit faster so it was more like a go-kart route. I kind of had fun there, but on camera it doesn't look as fast as it felt. Whatever. I was impressed though. The maneuverability of the Primo, top notch, I think.
Get from the cove out here? You just got to go through the weeds?
Oh, yeah. There's a little path through. You want me to show you?
Sure. Yeah, I was going to climb up here and see if I can figure out how to get in.
Hang on, let me turn off my... Are you coming this way or going in?
Actually, I paddled up from Mesquite Bay.
Same here, also.
Yeah, I was like, you know...
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, I nerded out on checking the distance from the parking lot to the water. I'm like, it's a third of a mile. I don't want to carry all this crap.
That's my thoughts too. I'd rather
like,
go uphill. And it's so fun on the way back too, right? Because you're going with the current.
I figured there's got to be some sort of a current on the way back, or a little bit. So I thought, well, you know.
You were like so close though.
Yeah.
I
figure, I'm sure we'd be like, yeah, that's such a hard paddle. It's like, yeah, but if it was easy, it'd be the Mount Everest of paddling.
Nah, it's not easy, but it's just like you just got to be able to paddle for a while. A lot of people, they just want to coast around.
It took me like an hour and a half, or a little over an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's not the same that I did. I just kind of cruise, take a few breaks.
Like, well,
I mean, what better way to have to spend the time, right?
Well, you know, and it's not windy for a change.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I woke up this morning at like 4:30. I was like, looked at my wind chime, it wasn't wiggling, and I'm like, all right, well, it's time to paddle.
Do you have a shirt with you?
No.
Man, you're gonna get fried on the way back.
Cooked, but
you got lotion
I
or
put a ton of sunscreen on this morning.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
you're gonna. It's like right there.
Okay, yeah.
I'll take you through though, because that's fun.
Right
oh, see, there you go. You don't need me.
Yeah, here I was gonna turn back and be like, oh well.
Yeah.
So much for that plan.
You know what I found is, because look at Castle Rock. That's how I found it. So, okay, well, there's Castle Rock, so if I go straight to that cove, it's got to be in here somewhere.
So inside of there in the cove is where the caves and all that stuff are at?
Yeah, it's really pretty. Okay. You're just hanging out in there a little bit.
That's what I came for.
And like, what I did is once I saw Castle Rock, I just went and I went right along the reeds until I finally saw the opening. So that's how
I saw the reeds and I thought, I don't know what's in there, like chiggers and ticks and all kind of stuff. So
yeah, no, it's a nice clean.
Perfect.
You'll be fine.
Excellent, thank you.
Take care. I sure wish you had a shirt, man.
I'll be all right.
So this is right next to the Castle Rock Bay. It was like this long, thin kind of cove that I saw on the map, so I wanted to just go back and check it out. And kind of got a treat. I think I saw a pair of owls. I think they were owls based on the no sound and kind of the shape and all that. I wasn't that close, so neat though.
move our muscles, the dead come home. There he goes. You'd be surprised at how still.
Right way to the open water.
I'm sorry?
It's the right way to head out.
Ryan, these reeds in the middle, you should be alright. Or just
So-
follow us, that works too.
I mean, if that's okay, I'll hang with you for a little bit.
Yeah. Do you mind if I put the music on?
Go
Or?
ahead, do whatever you got to do.
So the way back was a totally different vibe since Teal and I had company, and he was a really nice man. He was a visitor, first time to Havasu, and it's almost kind of funny because he was a real gamer. He was like this big buff guy, you know, does CrossFit and all that, and he was hanging with the old lady in her Yorkie on a kayak, so that was kind of cool. Probably could have found his way, but he was just chill and took the nice slow pace back, so that was neat. And you know, cheers to the guy for saying, "Yeah, I need help. That's okay." And the one thing also is there was one point where the paddleboard guy caught up to us as well, and we were all three paddling. And I was so proud of Teal. Look at there, she's just chilling, laying on our little platform. She did not bark one time at two men, because usually she doesn't like men, and that makes her bark more. At home, she goes crazy when delivery guys ever come by. But she behaved perfectly. She did really good. Seemed to have a good time, and yay, Teal. And it's a great ride. Milestone for me. 9.6 miles, farthest I've ever gone.